Yes, hello guys, welcome everyone again. Today we are having another live session. It's been quite some time that we didn't meet. Oh, I didn't come online. Is it 2 or 3 days, something like that? But nice, I'm back here, and just let your friends know that we're live now, so that at least we can do some past questions, and then we see how we go. I was checking the group. I was checking the group. I think during the past questions. I don't know if most of you guys haven't really told me. I need to know, is using the study materials a challenge, or because that should be something that you're going to use in the exam. So if it's a challenge, then most of you guys have to already try to find a way to make that work, because without knowing the study materials, it's going to be hard. Without knowing how to apply or use the study material, guys, it's going to be challenging. Yeah. And if you can hear me, let me know. I think you should be able to. Yes, I think you should be able to hear me speak. So that's it. Let's see. Yes, I think you are getting me speak. Yes, that's okay. I just wanted to be sure to know that you're listening to me. So how are you all guys doing? I hope everyone is fine. And then today we're going to start with, yes, good evening and welcome back. Today, Friday, yes, we didn't do live session. Was it on when? Probably 3 days from now. But anyways, nice to see you all again. And then we're going to start with mock question 5, and then if we're early, we jump back to that mock question 4, because remember we didn't finish mock question 4. Okay, Wednesday. Okay, good. That's nice to know. Then we do mock question 4. So I hope most of you guys are having your study materials. So because if we study without any study material, it's quite it's going to be challenging, because one thing also I've noticed the past days, I don't know, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. What I noticed is that it's not even about, for you guys, is it about just doing the past questions, getting the answers, or also learning to do one complete past question and let us a little bit delay and everyone knows how to maybe use the study material? Because for me, I feel that will help more than me just trying to do the past questions as quick as possible, rather than, because the aim is, if you can, of course, the past question is important to do them because you're getting repetition and it's nice, but also you need to know how to use that study material. So some of you guys, you can put a chart, you can put it on the chart. Is it us doing more past questions, or also learning how to use a study material? I'm finding it better going through the material, sometimes with keyword search. Okay, good. That's nice. That's nice to know. Yeah, with keyword, if you can use the using the study material with keyword, that's quite important. Yeah. Because the aim, as I told you guys, if you can learn, let me say, just doing these past questions as we're doing here, then reading also your table of content, like previous exams. Okay, I like previous. Okay, good. Then let's see what other people will say. Good. But as I said, if we can continue doing this and then you also learning how to use the study materials, I think most of you guys, I don't know if everyone is on the same page on the study materials. I don't know. But of course, it cannot be, because some people are always have to pull, maybe help some others. So I still see the WhatsApp group is not always busy. I don't know if you guys have already been contacting each other and doing past questions, or maybe studying together. Like what we used to do when I was studying, or when I was preparing for my exam, is we had a study group that I will often, let me say, if a question is challenging, I'll drop it to the group and say, guys, what do you think? So I'll encourage the people who want to push more, because in a group, some people have to push others. So sometimes if you want to use the group more effectively, you can take a past question and drop it in the group and say, and just ask someone to, guys, do you know where this is found on the study material? People start engaging like that. because the beginning is always a challenge for many people. But now when people start engaging, then they pull others to say, hey, something is happening in the group. Let's try to involve. That's the way you can get the best out of each other. Because remember, you're here to pass the exam. Your main aim is to pass the exam. After passing the exam, that license depend. It's your license. It's no one. It's no. It's nobody's license. You are the one who is going to effectively use it to manage players or whatever you want to do, or sign players to your agency, or work as an if you want to work as an individual agent, or if you want to work as an agent also with a group of people. That's normal because people do that. There are some people that they prefer to work with people unless another person that say no, I want to just do this thing my way. So, but again, it depends what you want to do. Okay, let's see what we have today. No, this one. So let's start with mock question 5. Let's see, and let's start. I know we haven't finished up mock 4. Let's start with 5 and see how it goes. Or because, but let's start with 5. Let's start with the fresh takes, and let's try to use our study material. As I insist, it's always very important. As I said before, we're answering the question. If you have a question, drop the page number so that your colleague or whosoever, the person you're around, you can find that answer. It's helpful. Also, it also reflects if there's something that I did missed. I can go also and check. I go and check back. You can tell me, hey, this probably you missed this. Try to check this whether is the answer right, because the main aim here is the study group to work so that you people pass your exam. Okay, but without hesitating, let's look. That was the first question. The question says, in principle, which conditions need to be satisfied for a service fee to be paid to a football agent when representing an individual under 1 year contract? Select one or more. So, which conditions you need? So, A, closure of the relevant registration window. B, passing of at least 6 months from the football agent services having been performed. C, receipt of remuneration by an individual. D, conclusion of a football season. Just take your time. And yes, hello everyone. For those guys who are joining, hello everyone. So we just put question 1. Let us know what's your answer. They said the question was select one or more. So you can select 2 this in. So if you found it, what page number did you find? I have just one person answering question one is 1A. So I have to wait a little bit because there's no haste for me to. So, but take your time and read the question. I cannot go through. Just one person has answered. So take your time. I know some people are still joining. So the question was, in principle, which conditions need to be satisfied for a service fee to be paid to a football agent representing an individual under 1 year contract? So which conditions need to be satisfied for a service fee to be paid to a football agent when representing an individual under a 1 year contract? Select one or more. So A, closure of the closure of the relevant registration window. B, passing of at least 6 months from the football agent's services having been performed. C, receipt of remuneration by an individual. D, conclusion of football services. So I still wait before I go. Okay, second person answered. Yes, after we're going to move on. Do you guys have a, do you have you checked, have you guys gone through the representation agreement or read something about it? Just joined. Okay, welcome. As you just joined the agency connect, and the first question is already on board. So soon I'll be moving ahead. So try to check the first question. Yes, as I was saying, I don't know why the WhatsApp group, before I go to the question, I don't know why the WhatsApp group is not active. So questions that probably I was just explaining something here that sometimes you can take a question and put in the group. If you went through a question and didn't know, you can put in the group. And if it was challenging, your friends can join and then you put start kick the conversation later and start talking. Or if you put a question in the group and ask if I have time, I can always pass through the group. But of course, that group is meant for like you guys. But of course, if there's something that's challenging, I can always pass also around in the group and just say if I have time. Because for me to prepare a question here is already too much time. So the group is meant for you people to interact with each other. But as I said, the group is quite a little bit because no one has taken the leap to say, hey, let me put something in the group and ask a question. Don't ask a question because I've been into group and I know how groups function. Don't ask a question. Don't say, for example, just put a question in the group and say, hey, anyone have an idea of this or where the page number is? Then your colleagues, or if you even find it, you can say, guys, I found I found the answer. This is this. There you start to interact and study because that the main thing that you are there as agents is to learn with each other. You have how many days left now? Because you're writing on the 28th. So now you have to start doing that thing to interact with each other even more. So that's very important. Okay, but now let's check. Let's go through the answer. Someone put 4 people answer 1A, C, just join. D, C, D, and B. Okay, let's look at it. In principle, which conditions need to be satisfied for a service fee to be paid to a football agent when representing an individual under a 1 year contract, select one or more? So they're asking that which conditions need to be satisfied for you to get paid. Okay, for you to get paid. Let's say you as an agent, when you're already an agent. So which conditions need to be satisfied? So if you look at, I don't know if someone can go to look at, let's go to our study material. Let's try to look at the study material. I want to run through it a little bit to page. Let's go to around page 279. Let's see. something. I just want to go through the study material and see. Okay, to read about more of this, you can come towards like general principles or just. Did anyone find anything on the study book, or do you guys want me to just let's move ahead? Okay, okay. Let's go towards the answer then. So the first answer is A, closure of relevant registration window. Someone had A there. In principle, I still repeat the question. In principle, which conditions need to be satisfied for a service fee to be paid to a football agent? So which conditions need to be satisfied for you? Let's take, for example, you're an agent. And then for you to receive a service fee, your service is almost saying like for you to receive your money that you have been, for you to receive money or your salary paid by a player, that's your commission. They're asking that which conditions need to be satisfied. I'm just trying to explain the question so that you understand. When representing an individual under a 1-year contract, select one or more. So for these conditions to happen, 1A, the closure of the relevant registration window, yes, needs to take place, which is okay. That one is correct. And then the next one, they say B, passing of at least 6 months from a football agent services have been performed. No, you don't need to partake in 6 services for 6 months before. It's a condition that meets that before they pay you. Receipt of the remuneration by an individual. Receipt of a remuneration by an individual. This is correct, but I want to explain something. When they say receipt of a remuneration by an individual, it's almost saying like your a contract that's your contract, the contract that you have with the agent, with the player. So if you have a contract with an agent with a player, that is, let me say, that is like your form. So they're putting a receipt of a remuneration, but with receipt of remuneration by an individual. So it's A and C. Then the next one, they say conclusion of a football season. No, you don't need to stay the whole throughout season before you're paid. So those are the 2 conditions that are met. So we have A, number 1 is A and C. Then we go to question 2. I open it, yeah. And to read under this a little bit more, I'll advise that we go to this thing. I'll say, if we look at our study materials, I open my study materials. I don't know how many people have their study materials here, but as I said, it's very important. If we just start reading from, let me go through it. Let's look at page 279. If you read from page 279, that would be nice. But anyways, as we spoke earlier, I said I wanted you to always use the study materials because it helps more. I wanted you to use it more so that at least you can. Because the more you use it, if I don't need to use that study material, because the more you use it, you are learning how to find those answers. If I'm doing it and then still going to find the answer on the study materials, it's not really going to help you guys in the exam. So as I said, the best thing is always, I know you guys are slow with the study materials, but you have to try, because if I give this answer and they're still going to find on the study materials, there's no point, because on the exam day it will be challenging for you. I think you guys know what I'm saying. But you guys are starting slow. It's important. I understand. No matter how long you take to find the answers on the study materials, it's still very important, because my aim here is to sharpen you, that you can, if you start, let's say if you're using 10 minutes to find an answer, The next time if you use 8 minutes, that's a big progress. The next time you use 6 minutes, that's a progress. The next time you use 5, listen, the person who does that will benefit more when the exam starts. But if we just answer the questions here, the study material, I think we started using doing this how long? For those who have not been using the study material, you still discover one thing that is still challenging for you to answer questions. If you are honest with yourself, the reason is because the questions you know you answer because you read. The ones you don't know, you cannot refer to the study materials. Why? Because you have not taken that thing upon yourself to say, hey, what Brian is saying here is true. I need to use the study material by all costs because these study materials, I'm privileged to use this on the exam day. So why don't I try to learn how to use it? Because that's the thing. As I said, most of these questions that we're practicing here, I keep repeating it will come, but not all will come. So some or not all you will know. Some you will need to refer to the study materials. How do you do that day? You see, so you need to find a way, not find a way, because when I give a question, I try to give time so that at least you take time to look at the study material. For example, let's analyze this question. Let's stay back on question 1, because I also discovered there's no point to really rush and answer so many questions while we don't really improve, because my main aim here is to improve you guys. So if we say in principle, which conditions need to be satisfied for a service fee? So what is the key word here? Service fee. Okay, if the keyword is service fee to be paid to a football agent when representing an individual under a 1-year contract. So we know the keyword here, service fee. So when I used to start learning this thing, I used to do, I'll look at service fee, which keyword. I'll look at, okay, the next thing, what is another thing that they are trying to look at here? They say representing an individual. Representation can be service fee. I mean, a representation can be a keyword, but what we're talking here, the main keyword here is service fee. So what we try to do is we know that what is where the service fee belongs to. That's why I say you need to also be reading a table of contents. Service fee belongs to the FFAR. So now we try to go under the FFAR and locate on the table of content and find where service fee is, and then from there we move straight to service fee and try to locate these things. So that's how you use the study materials, and you need to master keywords in this. So I just try to pull out a keyword so that you can know. Okay, let's go to question 2, because these are important things. There's no point for us to rush to answer so many questions, whereas you don't know the basics. Okay, because I passed the exam, and I'm just trying to give you direct thing what I did when I was passing the exam. When we started studying, I was telling you guys about structure already, that you shouldn't be entering the exam without knowing the structure. You should know that you're going to write all those things. I think I've explained this many times here, that you should know already how the exam will come, so that when you are on the day to write, there shouldn't be any surprises that make you panic. You should already know that this is what I will see, and this is how I will prepare for it, and this is how I'm preparing for it. For example, I'm giving you these questions. You should know that this is how the questions will come, something like this, because all these questions here, they are all past questions. So you're already getting familiar with the questions. But now the thing is, the questions you don't know, you have to use there's no other magic. You have to use the book, because an open book is there. You have to use the book. And for you to use the book, you have to know how to navigate through the book. If you don't know how to navigate through the book, then it's going to be challenging, because if you don't, I'm not going to be there to help you. For example, you understand, I'm not going to be there in the hall to ask. You're going to ask me. It's only going to be you and your laptop. So the best thing is we slow, and even doing one mock exam, but you knowing how to use the study material, that's my key part. Okay, let's go to question 2. What is included in remuneration of a player for the calculation of football agent service fee? Select one or more. So what is included in the remuneration of a player for the calculation of a football agent service fee? Select one or more. A, future transfer compensation. B, service on fees. C, accommodation and transportation bonuses. D, base salary. No, I said service fee. B, sign-on fees. No, sorry, sign-on fees. And then C, accommodation and transportation bonuses. D, base salary. Okay, take your time and then we go. Now we're going to question 2. Let's look at question 2. I have to close this. Okay, question 2. Some people said question 2 is C and D, B and D. Question 1 was A and C. Yes, question 1 was A and C. We did that. Good. I'm talking to this person. Yes, question 1 was correct, A and C, yes. Then question 2, B and D. Okay. Okay, I think let's see, 1, 2, 3. 3 people answered question 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if we have 4 people, then let's move on. Okay, B and D. Someone also said B and D as well. Another person said B and D as well. Okay. No, not question 3 yet. Slow down. We have to explain quick because my main aim is just calm down. I understand you want to be fast. Let's try to. The main thing is that we try to understand what we are doing here, and hide this. That we understand what we are doing. Okay, let's look at question 2. What is included in a remuneration of a player for the calculation of a football agent service fee? Select one or more. A, future transfer compensation. No. B, sign-on fees. Yes. That is included when someone, yes. So B is correct. C, accommodation and transportation bonuses. No, that's not correct. And D, base salary. Yes, is correct. So it's B and D. Yes, you guys are correct. No, you're not. You're right on time. So we're just on question 2. Okay, now let's move to question 3 then. In case of training compensation, the training cost for players for the calendar years of. In cases of training compensation, the training cost for players for calendar years of their 12 to 15 birthday are calculated based on select one. The training and the education the training and education costs of the club's actual category. B, the training and education cost of category 4 clubs. C, none of the answer listed. D, the training and education cost defined by the relevant member association. Okay. So you know already that this is talking. So why you people are trying to find the answers already? You know that in the case of training compensation, so they already gave you. They're talking about training compensation. Yeah. And then training cost for players for the calendar years of. So you have to find where this calculation are. Now you have to know that where is this topic found. Okay, just off head is found on the RSTP, on that RSTP. But now you have to also know that when we talk of training, most of the time those trainings, things like training, Those things are found under RSTPs, RSTP transfers. So you have to have an idea of where it is found. So what's question 3? They say select one, remember? Yeah, so yeah. No, no, no. No, 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 no. How many people are answering question 3? Question, we have just 3 people. Okay, I'm waiting a little bit, and then before the answer. Guys, try to use your study material. If you have time, use your study material. Or when you go back home, all these answers we are saying here, the best thing that I go we sometimes when we go back home, because you have time to review all these things, the answers we are saying here, the best thing is for you to go back now and take your time and also search whether those answers. Then when you, if you find there was something challenging, then you can come back also and we, at the beginning, we have a conversation on what was challenging and what you found. Was the answer right, wrong? What you found, did you find something? Those kind of stuffs. It's very important. How many people have answered? We have 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 4 people. Let's go. So the answer is B, the training course and education, the training and education course of a category 4 club. So so first, in cases of training compensation, the training costs for players for calendar years on their 12th and 15th birthday are calculated based on select one. So what are they calculated? They're calculated based on select one. So to find this, you go to it's under RSTP and RSTP. You can find also, you can check, read Annex 4. Let's see. So the answer is B. It's the training and education cost of a category 4 club. I think you'll find the answer on RSTP also. I mean, on the RSTP. If you go under, let's say, if you look at Annex 4 or page 202, if I'm not mistaken, but just find it. And because the thing is, the training cost is always calculated between the age of 12 to 15. It's always calculated on the category 4, always category 4 clubs. Okay. So let's move to question 4. According to paragraph 19, they are already telling you the paragraph. According to paragraph 19, 2B of the FIFA regulation on the status and transfer of players, they're already talking, which means you know that it's under the RSTP. The following territorial requirement must be completed. The following territorial requirement must be compiled with select one or more. A, the player is moving from outside the EU to an outside the EU EA to an EU EA member state and holds the nationality of an EU member state. B, the transfer takes place within the territory of the European Union. Let's move to C. C, the transfer takes place between two associations within the same country. D, the player is moving from outside the EU to an EU member state but does not hold the nationality of an EU member state. Okay, yes, go ahead, let's see. So they say according to Article 19. So you guys take your time, go to Article 19 and go and find this. There's no point to rush answer because they say according to Article 19, paragraph 2 of the FFAR. That's the FIFA regulation of transfer of players. That's under RSTP. The following territorial requirement must be complied. The following. So try to check that. Let's see. Don't answer without looking. So try to find also. Take your time. According to Article 19, paragraph 2. Yes, still waiting. Your half was resolved. What is it? Pardon? I have to take this one out. Hide that one. Let's hide it back. Yes. So, guys, we're still on question 4. Did you guys, someone should tell me, did you guys find the page? Did you guys find any page when you were checking the study material? Tell me, because they gave you guys already where to go. Paragraph 19. According to Article 19, paragraph 2B. I was saying, I hope the emergency you had was resolved. Yeah, that's good. Thanks for mentioning. Yes, it was my little boy. Yeah, so I had to take care of him. Yeah, thanks for for asking. Yes, everything went well, and he's sleeping now. Actually, yeah, I have to always put him on bed. Yeah, or my spouse put him on bed before I come to the live session. So last time he was not okay, but yeah, everything is fine. Thanks for checking. And how many people do we have? 1, 2 people. A and D. A. So let's still wait a little bit. Question 4. Let me go to that RSTP, paragraph 19. Let's see. What was it? According to Article 19, paragraph 2B. Let me ask this, guys. I want to let's look at something here. We have to. Guys, how many that's good to hear. Okay, how many of you guys went to the let's take the how many of you guys went to located this in the on the study material? Just put a point if you can, if you because I can we can try to help each other. How many of you guys know how to search this? Tell me how many people went to search this, because how many people use the study materials? Do you people have your study materials? I don't know how I can share my screen. This one. If I add, let's see. Let's see. I cannot get it from this one. I know how to search, but I'm on Easter weekend, so I don't have any study material. I'm using my phone. Okay, because I wanted us to use the answers because the answers are on page. Let me go back there. I went again there just to see the answers, but let's see. It's under you do when you go to page 178 of your study material. You go to page 178, and it's under protection of minors, international transfer involving minor. So protection of minor. So it's under protection of minor. So page 178. That's where you find the answers there. So this is how you have to use. So they said, because they say Article 19B, paragraph 2. I'm just going to read all the paragraphs. Let's see. It says, protection of minors said international transfer of players are only permitted if the player is over the age of 18. But now we're going to paragraph 2 was saying, paragraph 2B. They said paragraph 2B. If you have your study materials, you can see where I'm listening, because this is very important. So we will be doing eliminating the answer. So paragraph 2B, they said we should use paragraph 2B. So it shows that this is talking about minor. And from it said the transfer takes place within the territory of the European Union or European Economic Area. That was B. That was one. So let's look if we have the player moves from the transfer takes place within the territory of the EU or the European Economic Area. So which means B, if just from that distance, B has already been accepted. So we know that B is correct. We move to the next one. They said the transfer takes place between two associations within same country. New club must fulfill it. So we know that, okay, the transfer takes place between the transfer. Wait, let's look another one. The transfer takes place between two associations within the same country. Is that it? Let's see. Let me go again. The transfer takes place between two associations within the same country. So C is okay also. So C is okay. Let's move next further to B. Okay, it shall provide the player with an adequate football education and training in line with the highest national standard. That's an it. It shall guarantee the player an academic or school or vocational education training in additional to his football education and or training which allow the player to pursue a career other than football should be the case to play professional football. Number 4, it shall make all necessary arrangements to ensure that the player is looked after in the best possible way. Blah blah blah. Okay. And then we say it shall on registration of such player provide a relevant association with proof that it is compliant with the aforementioned obligations. So we have the players moving to the so according to this it is B and C. So I just wanted to show you guys how you can always pick an answer. So if you're looking now from going there, if you read all these things I just said, you know that is B and C are the right answers of this. So this is just how you use the study materials to find B and C. So those are the answers. And remember, I said go to page. I'm going to put a page there. This is under RSTP. This is talking about protection of minors. So it's on page 178. Page 178, paragraph 2. Then you start from B, reading from B. So page 178. Start reading from paragraph 2. From paragraph 2. Said B. Okay, that was this for that one. Let's move to the next one. It took time, but as I said, there's no point for us to really be in a haste yet. Let's look at question 5. Based on FIFA status, what are the consequences? Let me put this on so that you see. Question 5. Based on FIFA status, what are the consequences for suspended member association? Select one or more. Consequences of selected the FIFA status. Consequences of selected member association. So we look at FIFA status. So now again, on the study materials, you have to go to what is the keyword? Excuse me, keyword here. Based on the keyword FIFA status, what are the consequences of suspended member association? So you have to go to the FIFA status. You find where suspension of member association. Member association. When look, let me say if I have to find it, I have to go to the FIFA status first. I look at member association, then I try to scroll down and see where do we have suspensions. So let's take a look again. Let's try to. So check your answers, and then it was A. They may not draw up proposal for inclusion on the agenda of the FIFA Congress. They will be expelled. B. They will be expelled by FIFA Congress automatically. C. They may not participate or cast their votes in any FIFA elections. D. They may not exercise any of their member rights. So what I'll do here, because there's no point for me in haste, even if we do, what I'll do here, let me show you how I answer this question. Let's say, assume I don't know this thing. Okay, I'll say, okay, based on FIFA status, my first point, I know that this is under FIFA status. What are the consequences for suspended member association? So I know they're talking about when I go to FIFA status, I have to look for member association. Then I'll select one of these answers. What are the consequences? So I have to go to FIFA status, suspended member association. So now, trying to answer this question, the first thing, even if we want to look at, you have to also know where is the FIFA status. The FIFA status is the first place. I mean, it's the first chapter of the study material. That's chapter 1. It talks about the FIFA status. So let me try to go and find it there while you are also doing this. Where's my phone? I take a picture of this and try to read. Let me take a picture of this. Okay. So, okay. While you guys are reading, let's go. Okay, page 16. Someone already put it on good, page 16. Okay, let me go to page 16 as quick as possible. Page, let me run straight to page 16 direct as you said. Okay, I'm on page 16. Okay, it talks that I've seen suspension, member association obligations, and I've seen under suspension. Okay, now what I do, I try to open my answer. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm already. Okay, let's look at this one. Based on the FIFA status, what are the consequences for suspended member association? Select one or more. Now I see they may not draw up proposal for conclusion on the agenda of the FIFA Congress. Okay, let's look. The Congress may suspend a member association. The Congress may suspend a member association solely at least at the request of the council. So let me look whether if I have that one here. They may not draw up proposal for inclusion. They will be expelled by the FIFA Congress automatically. They may not participate or cast their vote for election. They may not exercise any membership rights. Okay. Let's go again. Let me see another one. Let me see. I didn't. So the Congress may suspend a member session solely on the request of the council. On the request of the council, notwithstanding notwithstanding the foregoing, the council may, without a vote, the council may, without a vote of the Congress, temporarily suspend with immediate effect a member association that seriously violates its obligation. Okay, let's see. They might not draw a proposal for inclusion on the agenda of the Congress. They will be expelled from the Congress. They may not participate or cast their votes in an election. They might not exercise any membership rights. A suspension, and then we go again. The next one. A suspension approved by the council shall be in effect until the next Congress, unless the Congress has resolved such suspension prior to such Congress. A suspended member association by the Congress requires a three-quarter majority. Let me go again through this question a little bit. Based on the stages, what are the consequences of suspended member association? They may not draw a proposal for the inclusion of the Congress Council. They might not participate in the cast their votes election. They might not exercise any of the membership right. Let me just go through it. Membership association which do not participate in at least two competition of the year shall be suspended of the voting. I think there's a suspension of voting. They might not exercise membership right, which is like voting. Yes, they might not participate in cast their votes. Okay, that's another one. They will be expelled by the FIFA Congress automatically. Yes, also that expelled by that automatic was also there. So good. Let's see. It's suspended. Now we come back here. I come back. Okay. Now let's go to this thing. So I see two people answered. Some people say C and D. Some people, they will be expelled by the. No, that is not there. They might not draw a proposal for inclusion of the angel. Okay. C, D, C, D, C, D. How many people answered before we go? So what I was just trying to do is good for the person who mentioned that page is this is how it goes. Now, this it's slow to we are slow today, but this is what you have to be doing. That you try to find the keywords and try to go to the places. The answer is yes, guys, C and D, correct? But the main point here, I'm not looking at the answer. The main point here is that you guys try to find the keyword and go and look it at the study materials, because some questions will be challenging, but this is the way you have to solve it. But now, when you already know, let me say, as someone said, it was page 16, you already know that this is under status. You try to go there quick and do this looking as quick as possible. This is how you use the study material. You start slowly, but the more you do it fast, the more you do it regularly, you become fast. This because you have to learn how to use the keywords as so. This I'm just trying to show you the principles or the ways you can use it. Okay, so this is very important. It's not like we're trying to force to answer questions here. I've already gone through these questions. I can try to give you the answers easily, but it will not also really help because it's almost like you're almost like just sometimes listening. So I'm trying to put a little bit more effort that you guys at least gain something. So, okay, let's move to question 6. Which of the following statements apply to safeguarding? Select one or more. Proper recruitment process are used when employing people to work with children. Okay. None of the answer listed. That's B. C. Making sure equipment and facilities are safe to use in line with local health safety guidelines. D. Providing safe transport and accommodation arrangement for children. Okay. Okay, what's the answer? This one is even clear. We're on question 6. Okay, ACD. Question 6, ACD. Yes, the answer is ACD. You guys, so let's just move ahead of that one. Yes, at least that one was more clear. Also, question 6, ACD. And then question 7. Okay, this one is really long. FCB wishes to engage an amateur player who is currently playing with FC Small. FCB would like to offer him a first professional contract, which means that the player will be registered as a professional for the first time. However, FC Big is afraid of cost of training compensation. To solve this issue, FC Big asks FC Small to offer a first professional contract to the player, FC Small, as a training category 4 club. In these circumstances, no training compensation will be paid. The FC Small would then loan the player to FC Big for no payment for 2 seasons. Is there an infringement of the FIFA regulations? So just to explain all these things that is happening here, because you need to understand what is happening in the question. There are 2 clubs. One is FC Big or FC Small. It depends how you interpret it. So one wants to go and the first club wants to offer a professional contract, because it's a professional club, wants to offer a professional contract to a player, then discover that if I offer this contract, it will trigger, because it's his first professional contract, it will trigger training compensation, which means the club has to pay training compensation to other clubs that train the player. So now this club goes and tries to be smart and say, okay, I'm going to talk to this to this club that I know, have a relationship with, to offer a contract to this player, because this player is because you are an amateur club. So when that club now offers that contract to that player, because an amateur club is a category 4 club, so it won't trigger any training compensation. Thereby, that club can loan us that player. Then now we use we just take the player and we bypass that training compensation rules. I mean, training compensation. So now they're asking here, the answer is, let's see, is there an infringement of the FIFA regulations? So did they cheat? Is there any infringement here? So select one or more. A, yes, FC big and FC small breach Article 5B of the FIFA regulation on the status of transfer of players by entering into a breach transfer aimed at circumventing training compensation, which is called breach of transfer. So this A is just talking about breach of transfer, which means if you are trying to bypass training compensation using trick. B, yes, FC big breach Article 18Bs of the FIFA regulations on the extension transfer of players because of the influence of exercise on FC Small, which was forced to register. Let's move to the player as a professional. C, no infringement has occurred. D, yes, FC Big and FC Small breach Article 5B of the FIFA regulations on status of transfer of players by entering into a breach transfer aimed at hiding third-party ownership. So yes, what do you think? I can still go back so that people can read the question still. Yes, you can still read the question then before. Then you read the question, then I change to go there. Yes, let me give you more time. So, okay, let's go to question 7. Let me see how many people answered. Just 2 people answered question 7, A and B. Question 7 is B and D. How many people? Guys, step up, step up. We're going to do just one page. I know it's quite long. We're going to do one page so that you digest. So we're going to do just this question, this mock 5. Okay. Okay, 3 people answered. I try to explain to you guys this. So I hope you guys understood the question, but the answer is yes, which is A. The answer is A. Yes, FC Big and FC Small breach Article 5Bs of the FIFA regulation on the status and the transfer of players by entering into a breach transfer aimed at circumventing training compensation. As you head into the passage, I mean, not on the pass, on the question. The first club, which is FCB, was trying to breach training compensation, bypass training compensation by sending that player to another club, so that when that was an amateur club, which you can call a category 4 club, so that when that player signs, then he loans that person to his club. So when you breach, so this is the way that clubs try to bypass training compensation, so that they don't pay the other clubs who trained the player before. And FIFA doesn't allow this kind of rule to happen, because if many clubs do this, then those who train players will never get the money or their reward. So when FIFA catches you doing this, you are fine. You are given fine, and you can be even banned from registering players. So so the answer is A, as one of your colleagues said. 7 is A. This, yes, okay. A. Yeah. So, and to read about this, you can go under also uh, bridge transfer, and also you can. I think you will know more about training. If you can read also training compensation and X4 on the RSTP, it will also be helpful for this. Okay, let's move. In case in question 8, in cases of permitted dual representation where the agreed remuneration is USD 1 million, how much of the total transfer fee may an engaging entity pay? In cases of permitted dual representation where the engagement when the in cases of permitted dual representation where the agreed remuneration is USD 1 million, how much of the total service fee may an engaging entity pay? Select one or more. Okay, 8B, 8B. Yes, guys, just to hasten up, just to fasten up. Yeah, I think this is clear. At least you can, if you have been reading, you know, yes, it's B. As you guys, as most of your colleagues said, 8B, 8B. Yes. So you both are right. Let's let's sharpen up a bit. Question 9. One of the possible disciplinary measures that may be imposed by FIFA judicial body is a fine. Is there a limit to the amount of this fine? Select one. One of the possible disciplinary measures that may be imposed by the FIFA judicial body is a fine. Is there a limit to the amount of this fine? So A was CHF 10 million, B CHF 1 million, C no, and D CHF 500,000. Okay, 9. B, B, B. Okay, yes. Question 9. B, 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 B. Correct. Yeah. Okay. Let's move to question 10. On what basis is the service fee calculated when representing a minor? Select one. A, the minor's remuneration. B, the transfer compensation. C, no service fee is payable by minors. D, the training compensation. That's question 10. Okay, let's move on. We have two people say, okay, you said no. Okay, A. Next people, not. Why is it only two people answering or two or three people? Okay, let's move on. It's A. Yes. No, it's A. Let's give an example. If some, just to try to go again to go and read under minor again. So this is the assignment I'll give you. Try to read under minor, the agency one, because I knew. Let's take for example, it might be that some the minor might have signed a professional contract. I'm giving an example. A minor, let me say, 16 years old person, a 16-year person. Let's take for example in Europe, 16 years to sign professional contract. Or not only in Europe, even in Brazil, you have Vinicius and all those people. It's only when you turn 18 before you're allowed to move to Europe. But most people play professional now these days when they are 16 years, 17 years. Those that they are minor, that are 16, 17 years. So the clear answer is the minor's remuneration. So it's also a tricky question because they might say there's no service fee for minor. Of course, normally we know there's no service fee for minor when those ones were. But when you turn 16 and you're being offered a professional contract, if that is happening, then it's with if that happens, then it's the minor's remuneration. So that's the explanation I'm trying to give you guys so that you understand. You have to also read the you have to understand the answer very well. If they put it like as it's like this, then you know you go with the minus remuneration. But then being they gave you some conditions that okay, this person hasn't signed any contract, then professional contract, all those kind of things put in place, then you have to assess it because it's also about interpreting the question very well. Yes, okay, let's move forward. Question 11. The FIFA Disciplinary Committee has found you guilty of failing to comply with a decision ordering you to pay money to one of your former players. You have been notified of the terms of the decision, but you would like to know the reasons upon which the decision is based. What is the deadline for requesting grounds of decision? Select one. I think we speak we have answered something like this, but this now it has come under trickish terms. They say A 30 days upon notification of the terms, B 10 days upon notification of the terms, C 5 days upon notification of the terms, D 3 days. Question 11. Someone said B, someone said C. Let's move. Let's. I'm waiting a little bit. I need more two more answer before I reveal the answer. Two more people popping up, not just two people answering question 11. We are 9 online, so we cannot have two people answering. Okay, three. Someone more before. I need four people. I need four people. It should be half four. So I'm waiting, you guys. And just this, just while you're trying to prepare your answers. This is just something that I just a little bit of things I it just came to my head. Most clubs actually try to. This is the question we answer about breach of transfer article 5B. A lot of clubs also try to do that, especially clubs who don't have money. When you start going into the agency and you start visiting and studying people, I mean, trying to know how the agency work. A lot of clubs try to also do this. The clubs, let me say, who don't have money, they try to always bypass using that method, thinking that the FIFA might not catch them. Because take for example, if a player is, let me say, if a player has moved club for so many times, moved club so many at each age, different age group, and let's say he's about to sign his first professional contract. He's about to sign his first professional contract, whereas he has passed through eight clubs. Let's give an example. This club will have to pay training compensation. So now, when you offer that player, first professional contract, you have to pay all those other clubs that they have been training the player before you got him as a professional. So most clubs, that's why in a transfer market, sometimes people, let me say, people, if you have to you have to understand the football. Sometimes people don't also know what is happening internally. You can have a player, then just to sign that player and pay that training compensation, a club might look like, hey, we're going to lose a lot of money. Now they start going into the situation that they say, this player has to be really extremely good for us to take him. Because if we take him, we have to pay eight clubs different training compensation because we're offering him a professional contract. So those are the things that also clubs now go through, like with the analysis team, their sporting and the finance department, because this is what happens inside. They sit inside this, they try to analyze all these things and say, okay, is this what all the hassle is? If the person is an average player or is a player that is just slightly better than the player they have, sometimes clubs prefer to say, hey, financially, this is not a good deal. We prefer to stick with our player rather than go to a territory that we might pay a lot of compensation just for bringing this player in, giving him his first professional contract. Because you the player and the player, you the player, I mean the player and you the agent, you don't have an idea about this. All you want is your player playing well, and then the club is offering him contract. But what also happens is when you offer a professional contract to a player, it triggers that training compensation that you are in charge of paying training compensation to all those other clubs. Because the agent and the player have nothing to do with this. They don't even think of this. But this is the club's side that they try to look at this. So these are just the little things that sometimes you can have a player and you think, but why is this not going through? Why is you watch the training session and you see that your player is slightly better than another player, but inside the club, what they're assessing different things, scenarios, the budget, offering a professional contract that will trigger that training compensation. So these are things that happens, especially to clubs that are struggling that they are always trying to maintain themselves. So this happens a lot, that before they want to sign a player, there's a lot of background checks happening and a lot of details. If we're offering this contract, what will happen and everything. So these are things that happen actually. So question 11. As any of you, I think probably know because you guys are not yet agent. I think you have no don't have too much idea about this. I don't know if anyone has come across this thing or you've heard about this kind of thing, but this is what happened. I can't read the paper. Please zoom it. Okay. If you're using your phone, as I said, just try to touch the screen and open it. It's more easier for people who are using phone. Okay. Let's go through it now. What are your answers? Okay, I had two people. The two answers are 11B, B, B. Yes, B. The answer is B, 10 days. Okay, 11 was 10 days. And 12. Greg is 20 years old, was born in Wales, and holds a British nationality. So he was born in Wales, holds a British nationality. His parents and grandparents were born in Scotland, but the family moved to England. So his parents and grandparents were born in Scotland, but his family, but this is all those kind of questions that they try to put a little bit of trick on it. His parents and his grandparents were born in Scotland, but the family moved to England when Greg was 1 year old. He has never represented any national team. For which any national team, for which association is Greg eligible to play? Select one or more. So read and then you see which association is he eligible to represent if he wants to represent them. That's question 12, guys. Let's go. Okay. Okay, perfect. BCD. Yeah, Scotland, Wales, and England. The more I zoom from side, the faint it becomes. Really? It's because you're using your phone, you need to try to use your laptop sometimes. It helps because try to use it because you have to start using your phone because I mean your laptop because you're going to use the laptop to write the exam. If you use your phone, you're not going to use your phone to write the exam. So you have to be preparing with the thing that you use to write the exam so that at least you're already familiar with the things. Okay, question 13. Does an existing representation agreement need to be reported to FIFA when a football agent and a client amend it? Select one. Always, regardless of whether it has an international dimension. B, only if the national transfer, or only if a national transfer or national transaction. Only if a national transfer or national transaction occurs in relation to that representation agreement. C, never. D, always if it has an international dimension. They say select one. Now we're talking of question 13. Okay. You said something about copy. Can I help you? What do you mean copy? Do you want? Okay, the answer we could. Someone said D, someone said A, someone said B, D, someone say B, C, D, and someone said D. Okay, let's move. Question 13 is D always if it has an international dimension. So this is the answer, and I would like you guys to go and verify also on if does a representation agreement need to be reported. Go and check representation agreement between football agent. Go. I would like you guys to check also that. Let's try to go to this thing. Let's try to go if we have time, but let's why not representation agreement. So if someone quickly finds the page, let us know. Let's go do searching. It's under FFAR. No, let's look at the page there. 13, someone said 13 is A. 13 is A. Okay, so let's go to the page. Let's go to the page. Let's go to the page. 13 is B. Someone said also is B. So this is what I love when we always say something like so now 13 is A. I believe you. Someone 13 is B. I believe you. 13 is C. I believe you. 13 is D. But now what I want is the best way to solve to always answer this is that go try to use the subject material to say go and look on page this your mates and everyone will learn. That is the best thing. That's why I say find a place on the study materials and just tell us here that this is how you learn. That okay, the page go and read page this, and then you understand what I mean. So that's the best way. Okay, I'm giving a little bit of time on that case 10 13 because we let me give a little bit of time. Just a moment, guys. Let's go through that questions again. Did someone find anything? Okay, let's wait a little bit because I want you guys to find that thing the study materials. There's no point to move forward too much. Let's see. Guys, take your time. Use yeah. Does an existing representation agreement need to be reported to FIFA when a football agent and a client amend it? Select one. Nobody yet. Oh, okay. So is it hard to use the study materials, guys, or is it too challenging? No, I know we all have different answers. Someone said B. Did that person? Yeah. Or did that person put that already long ago? But I'm just trying to say, let's try to find a way to. I want you guys to find this question on the study material, this answer. Let's see. Take for example that this was your writing, this is your exam you were writing because you have to find on the study material. It can be challenging here, but normally, of course, it has to be till you get used to that. Yes, okay. I'm going also through the study materials. Okay, let's see. Let me see if someone else. If someone did something. It's D because FAA apply to international dimensions only. Question 13 is A. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to know Article 12, please. Yes, I know it's D, but yeah, but I know it's D, but I wanted to say the thing is I wanted to ask that can someone use the study material? Okay, the answer is D, guys, but I would like us to know where the answer can be found on the study materials. That's the thing, because it's yeah. I know, yes, your explanation is D because the FAA applies to international dimension, but I'm saying where can we find on the study materials? Because that's the point here. That's what the point I'm trying to make here is not whether we know the answer or not. I'm just saying that can someone locate it on the study materials? Because if you don't locate it on the study material, how do you work with it on exam day? You guys, you understand my point? Okay, let's move forward. But the thing is, I always like we use the study material because if we are not fast in the study material, it's going to be challenging when you enter the exam. Believe me. Yes, it's going to be really challenging because what about the questions you don't know? How are you going to answer them? Are you going to just do guesswork? Because the questions you don't know, you need not to use your study materials. Let's move to question 14 and see. When may the cap and okay, let's just move forward. When may the cap on service fee be lower than the regulated be lower than that regulated in the FIFA football agent regulations? Select one or more. I repeat again. When may the cap on service fee be lower than that regulated in the FIFA football agent regulations? Select one or more. When mandated by associations, national football agent regulations. When agreed between the parties to a representation agreement. C, in all transactions involving minors. D, never. Okay, let's see what is question. What's the answer? So they are just asking that when may you have to know how to interpret this. When may the cap on service fee be lower? When can a service fee be, for example, lower? What happens that it can be lower? What are the other options that can make a service fee lower than the fixed amount on that FIFA puts? I'm just trying to explain in a local way so that at least you understand. You guys understand. Then they're saying A, is it when mandated by the association, National Football Association and regulations? Football. No, A, when mandated by associations, National Football Agent regulations. B, when agreed between the parties to a representation agreement. C, in all transactions involving minors. D, never. Let's see, question 14. AC. You said when mandated by association and National Football Agent regulations. A is correct, but your C is not correct because you said C was Your A is correct, but C is not correct. In all transaction involving minor. No. I just let me just try to explain a little bit about the minor. We always talk minor. Minor can, yes, it's A. A is correct, but there's another one who is also correct, who has to be correct. Let's take, for example, if you say C, which you say all transaction involving minor, a minor can sign a professional contract. A minor in this, and the thing with minor is that they have to talk minor with territory. When they call of general a minor between the age of, let's say, 1 to let me say to 17, people in Europe that are 16 years, for example, sign professional 17 years sign professional contract. The way we look at minor in Africa is different, because a minor is from till you turn 18 before you are allowed to sign a professional contract to move to Europe. But in Europe, why Europe is different? 16 they sign professional contract. Yes, A and B is the right answer. It's A, B, which is the right answer. So just explain a little bit as I explained to you guys. You always try to read. Of course, common sense also is applied on these things. Sometimes not only the study materials as you guys are seeing, but also you need to apply common sense, because normally, in all cases, we'll say yeah, minor is correct. But when you also go now to interpret minor, they are different. Minor is being treated in different ways. The way we look at minor, let me say in Europe, 16 years, as I said, they sign professional contract and they're allowed to move from different parts and play football when you are a European. If you hold a European passport and you're here, let's take for example, I live in Finland. A 16 years old player can sign his professional contract, or 17 years, and move to another country and move to, like, to Sweden. Okay, I give an example. There was one young player that I interviewed. His name is Matthias Sitanen. He's a young player that he used to play for Kups, a team in Finland. Yeah, he was 17 when he moved to Sweden, who is a different association, football association. Okay, he already moved association, but he signed his professional contract here and he moved then. Now, if we flip that to a country, another country, let me say someone coming from Ghana, let me say Ghana or whatsoever. If you sign a professional you sign a professional contract in Ghana and you have Ghana passport, you cannot move to Europe till you turn 18. So you see, even if you're in Brazil, the same that happened like to Vinicius, they cannot move, yeah, till they turn 18. So that's what I'm saying. When they talk of minor, you have to also try to read the room, understand the question, and interpret it very well. Okay. So let's go to the next question. 15, 5 to go. Then we are done. We find another way to explain. We find another time to these questions, and then I'm going to try to send these questions. Is it to the group, or I don't know if there's anyone, but I'm going to try to find a way to send these questions to the group if you can work like that, or by email. Anyone who needs the questions, you can send it by you can always ask me, like how some of you guys always ask, and then I send them the questions. Question 15, which of the following, let me open it. Which of the following statements apply to confederations? Select one or more. A, confederations are groups of associations recognized by FIFA that belong to the same continent or assemblable geographic region. B, confederations have same rights, obligations, and status as FIFA member associations. C, confederations may only consist of member associations. D, confederations must comply with and enforce compliance with the statutes, regulations, and decisions of FIFA. So, which of the following statements apply to confederations? Okay, let's see. What's your question 15? Question 15 is say, someone said was 14 A and B. No. Yes, 14 was A and B. 14 was A and B. Yes, 14 was A and B, so it's correct there. And then let's move to question 15. C and D, A, C and D, A, C and D. So question 15 is A and D. Just A and D, not A, C and D. So let's look at it. Say confederations are a group of associations recognized by FIFA that belong to the same continent. Yeah? Yes. Okay. That is okay. B, confederations have the same rights, obligation, and status as FIFA. No, they don't have the same right as FIFA member associations. No. So that is clear. C, confederations may only consist of member associations. No, that is also not clear. And then D, confederations must comply with the and enforce compliance with the statutes and regulations and decisions of FIFA. Yeah, they have to comply with FIFA regulations. So it's A and D. So to know more about this, you can go, I think, on the FIFA status. If you want to read about confederations more, you go under FIFA status. You glance through, you know about confederations. Please also possible to send in the WhatsApp. Thanks. Yeah, that's what I will try to. Let's see. I will try to see how I can send the questions to WhatsApp, the WhatsApp group for you guys. Okay, let's move question 16. An association is entitled to receive training compensation, which in principle will be due to one of its affiliated club if it can provide evidence that the club in question, with which the professional was registered and trained, has in the meantime select one or more. A, not qualified for the FIFA Club World Cup. B, changed ownership. C, lost its professional status. D, ceased to participate in organized football and or no longer exists due to in particular bankruptcy, liquidation, dissolution, or loss of affiliation. We have answered this question already, probably at one point in time. So just interpret it's asking that in what condition or on what grounds can an association receive money on a behalf of a club? Then they're saying that A, when they select one or more. A, not qualified for the FIFA Club World Cup. B, change ownership. C, lost its professional status. D, ceased to participate. So question 16, waiting. Question 16. Okay. Question 16 said, people said D, someone said CD, someone said CD, someone said CD. Okay, let's go. Question 16 is D. That's the answer. So, and the question was the answer is D. The question was an association is entitled to receive training compensation, which is in principle will be due to one of its affiliated club if it can provide evidence that the club in question with which the professional was registered and trained has in meantime ceased to participate. The answer is cease to participate or participate in organized football and or no longer exists due to, let's say, bankruptcy, liquidation, or whatsoever. Yes, that's the only way, let me say, association can collect money on behalf of the club, because if not, there's no way they are going to pay that money. So the association received that money. And just to add more, that money, where does that money go when the association collects it? That money is reinvested on like trainings and all those kind of stuffs. Okay. So when that, just to add a little bit, because another question can also come: when association collect this money, where does this money actually go? So it's based, the money goes on development, not that the association is using it to do something. It goes on development. Because I think we have also faced another question that they said something like an association has collected money. Let me just put it in a local way: has collected money on a club that was a professional club but ceased to exist due to bankruptcy, liquidation, or whatsoever. Now, what does the association do with this money? They can say, A, the association use it to buy, they can put something like JCs or to fund the national team. Let's give an example, the national team of the country. B, the association can use it to pay its debt for all those kind of things. Then they see, they can say the association use it for development programs or whatsoever. So it's under development program. So you have to always just have an idea of where, if association collect money from a club who doesn't exist any longer, who came through, the money came through training compensation, that the association uses that money to develop for development. Okay. So now next one is 17. The Court of Arbitration of Sport has issued an award ordering a club to pay you money. However, the club has faced financial problems leading to its bankruptcy. The club subsequently disappeared and was disaffiliated from the relevant national association. A few years later, you discover that an almost identical club has started competing in the same league as the defunct club. Since the defunct club has not paid its debt, may you initiate proceedings against the new club for failing to comply with the aforementioned award, for claiming that it is the sporting successor of the defunct club. Select one. So this, you have to select one. So normally when you have questions like this, it's always challenging because that question is long. If you don't know how to interpret question, it's already, you need to go back and read the question again, because this is what happens in the exam, that you read the question and just because the question is long, you go back again to read the question just to understand it. And normally, as I told you guys, that you have just only 3 minutes to answer a complete question. So you need to be rapid. If not, you're already taking time from the other questions. So the A was A. No, you need to file a new complaint against the new club with a competent body. B, yes, you may apply to submit the matter to the FIFA disciplinary committee. C, you may file an application with the FIFA Football Tribunal. D, yes, you may file such application with the Court of Arbitration of Sport. So what's your answer? So just to explain it so that you understand these questions in local terms, it's it's like uh, a club was guilty. You have a club was guilty, and FIFA asked that club to pay you, let me say you, the agent, some money. But because the club went bankruptcy, the club ceased to exist. Then let's say it took a while, and after some time, you discover that that club is competing in that same league. A club is competing with that same in that same league, who looks like the club who owed you money. Okay. Now, what measures will you take? So this is just basically what he's saying. What measures will you take? So let's see what question you ask question 17. We answered this question already before. B, B, and D, B, B, D. So let me move ahead. Question 17. Yeah, the answer is B. Yes, you may apply to submit the matter to the FIFA disciplinary committee. Yes, that's the only one answer. You have to apply to submit the answer to the FIFA disciplinary committee. This is also on your study material, and we have answered these questions here many times. So this kind of, I think question 17 and question 18 have been repeating also from different past questions. So remember these two questions also. I'm sure it's going to come up ahead in some other more questions. So when you come up this, just the setup is always this kind that some FIFA told a club to pay you money, you the agent pay you money, and that club went into bankruptcy and disappeared. Let's take for example, because this also, just to elaborate a little bit on this, most clubs use this a lot to come up from. Let's say a club can be under debt, because I've seen a lot of clubs do this. Yeah, a club can be under debt, and then they decide, this is what clubs do. They decide to go away. Let's say they owe a debt of about 50, let me say, if it's a normal club, a local club, 50 million, because 50 million for big clubs is no money for them to disappear. Let me say it's just a normal club, owes 50 million euros. What that club will do is they always go for they file bankruptcy, and then they cease not to exist. Then now, if they were to, then now when they want to come up, they come up back with a different name. So they forget that name, because if they come up with the same name, they're going to be held accountable for that debt, that bankruptcy. They're going to be held accountable. So what they do now, they come up with a different name, and when they come up now with a different name, they are allowed now to go, and then that debt is wiped because they filed bankruptcy. Okay, so this is what most clubs usually do. Okay, let's move. So who said? Someone said 17 is D. No, 17 is B. B. You have to apply it to the, yeah, it's B. This is the answer. Yes. B. Now let's go to 18. Which of the following individuals may be sanctioned by the FIFA disciplinary committee for engaging in match manipulation? Select one or more. Yes, question 18. Yes, guys, we're almost rounding up. Which of the following individual may be sanctioned by the disciplinary committee for engaging in match manipulation? Select one or more. I think this is local. Listen. Yes, you have A, B, and D, A, B, and D, A, B, and D, A, B, and D. Good, guys. Yes, that one was A, B, and D. Perfect. Question 19. When a football agent wants to permanently terminate their license in order to start working as a club official, where may such a substantive request be submitted? Select one or more. Because while you're answering, I'll just explain this. When you're a football agent, you cannot work with a club. So actually, you cannot work with a club you cannot work with a club or any kind of in any capacity of the club. The reason is because you cannot be managing a player and then you're working out of the club as an agent. The moment you choose to become an agent, you cease to have any connection with the club. So now they're asking for, if you're an agent, then let's assume me, because I'm an agent, official licensed agent. Assuming that, let's take for example, Brian wanted to go and say, no, I've had a big offer from a club that they'll be paying me huge amount monthly. Which place will I go to say, am I going to FIFA to tell them that, hey, I don't need to work, I don't want to work again as an agent. I want to keep my license away. And so I want to, let's say, suspend my license or whatsoever thing. So where am I going? Am I going to the FIFA General Secretariat? Am I going to the FIFA Agent Chamber? Am I going to the FIFA Football Agent Working Group? Am I going to the FIFA Agent Platform? Where am I going to actually? Question 19. Someone. Question 19, A. Yes, question 18, we answered already. Yes, question 18 was ABD. Yes, we answered already, is correct. But now we move to 19. 19A, 19A, 19A. Yeah, you guys got this one right. 19 was A. And question 20, last one. Which of the following persons may not be a football agent? Select one or more. Yes, waiting a little bit. Okay. The answer is, let's see. No, question 19 was question 19 was just A. Except your question 19 was just A. This one, the person answered this question 19. It was just A, not ACD. It was just the answer was just the FIFA agent platform. Go to the when you want to submit your license, that suspend your license to go and work with the club, you go to the agent platform. I mean the FIFA agent platform, and the FIFA agent platform is where you do your registration. They call it FIFA agent platform, where you do all those registration when you are trying to apply for your license, right? That platform is called the FIFA agent platform. So let's look at question 20. So someone said someone said CD, someone say CD, someone say ACD. And yes, your answer. Yeah. So which of the following persons may not be a football agent? Select one or more. I think I think if you have been reading, you know about it. The answer is A, C, and D. And if you're an amateur player, you can be an agent. But if you're an amateur coach, no. If you're a professional coach or professional player, no, no. I had this situation. Let's take for example when I was registering for my license, when I was trying to register to write, because I was coaching kids for a club. Yeah, and then because I had this contract, I was coaching kids for a club. Then also I was playing for that. I was playing also. So now when I was trying to write the exam, the FIFA agent exam, this is 2024 I'm talking about. 18 to 20 on this exam, on this exam, very tough. Yeah, it's challenging because the first thing is we have to learn how to use, let's say, the study material. The study material, as I said, is a big key part to passing the exam also. Because the things you don't know, the only place who can save you is the study material. So the assignments that we are doing, because we will come back again, see, is it on Monday? We'll come back here on Monday. The assignments we will do is while you are away now studying. Of course, I'll let you guys know when the next live. So I'll put it also already. So always try to check the YouTube page. I mean the YouTube page, this page. You are always going to see when the live is, because I always leave all the updates there. So it's very important. Just always check the updates there on on my YouTube page. But anyways, just to say what I was saying is when I was playing, and then I was also I was coaching. I was coaching. So what they told me is at that time is no, if you cannot you cannot coach. You cannot coach someone if you are. That's when I started finding out about this thing, because I was thinking that as an agent you just play. I was still reading the rules and regulations. You just play and you can just continue handling players even if you're playing. But by then I had to stop playing. Actually, I had to stop playing, stop coaching, because the thing with me is that I wanted to have the license. I was looking at, okay, I need to have this license, and if there's anything that will make FIFA to tell me that, hey, this or whatsoever, FIFA, that I'll get into trouble with FIFA that I'm playing, and then I'm trying to apply for my license, because I even got a message from the FA that, okay, these are the rules also. Because of course when you send a document that you're trying to apply for the license, it passes through the FA of your country before going to FIFA. So the FA of your country is the one handling all those things before sending all those information to FIFA. So when I sent for my application, then I got a reply back that, hey, you are playing football at this club, so you cannot do this. So if you want to continue playing, then you have to stop. If you want to continue as an agent, you have to stop playing. Then I was coaching kids also. Then I said, then they said, even you have nothing to do when it comes to coaching anything. You have nothing to do with with coaching. You cannot be affiliated to that club like that. Yeah. So that's why I started learning that the only thing that you can do with a club is when you're playing if you're playing amateur category 4 club, then it's good you can play. But apart from coaching and all those things, you have no chance. Anyway, but that was it, guys. You said this was tough. If you had 18 on 20, that's good. That's not tough. If you had 18 on 20, but the thing with is that I just wanted that you guys to go through the study material. I know it's challenging. Trust me, I know it's challenging a lot. That's why I try to give time for you guys to go through the material still. If you manage to find some few questions using the study materials, or what you can do now is tomorrow when you have your own time, because now you already know the answers that we have given here, you can watch this thing and post it. Then try to go and find that question, find these answers that we're talking about, we have been discussing here on the study material. This is your assignment you have to do till when we meet again. Because if you do this assignment well, it will help you more than even our next session. Of course, it will help you. The next session, you are getting used to the exam because we're studying. That's good. But while you are alone, try to put this thing on now and try to find, because I wanted to really also explain these things a little bit as I explained today so that you guys get it. But the thing is, use your study material. If like start from question one, as we said, and then use a 60-minute time to see what is the distance. I mean, what is the time you can finish? Let's take, for example, these questions, try to answer just using the study material. Don't anything you know, go and find the answer on the study materials and then come and write it. Go and find the answer on the study material, come and write it. The one that you need to apply common sense, that you don't need the study material, that you feel is a question that is not on the study materials, okay, that one is okay. But most of the ones that you know the answer on the study materials, go and find it on the study materials and come and put it here. Then it will help you. You will start improving your speed a little bit. Okay. Apart from that, no, I think we are already 2 hours 15 minutes. Normally it's always 1 hour, so I have to leave you guys. Okay. So it was nice talking with you guys today, and great always. And we continue next week again. And let's see. So do this assignment. I insist, do this assignment as I've said. It will help you more. Let's see how we continue next week. Okay. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice Easter, and wish you all the best in your studies. And this question, I'm going to try to drop it. Find a way to drop it on the WhatsApp group so that you guys can continue checking it out there. Okay. Take care, guys. And if anything, you can always leave a message also on my YouTube channel. I will see it and then get back to you. Have a nice day or have a nice night. It's night, I think. Probably, except maybe you're in America, that it's different time, or other parts of the world. But anyways, take care and talk to you later. Bye for now.